When people hear storage in the cloud, they often imagine something abstract, like data just floating somewhere online. But in reality, cloud storage is very concrete. Data still needs to be stored somewhere, accessed by applications, and kept safe. Storage is one of those AWS topics that feels confusing at first, because there are multiple services with similar names. The key is understanding the data is used, not just where it is stored. Welcome to Learn Data Easy, the series where we break down cloud, data, and AI concepts without jargon and without stress. I'm Charlene, I work in data and AI, and my goal here is to help you understand how AWS works underneath, in a way that's practical and easy to follow. In this episode, we're focusing on storage, where data actually lives in AWS. Before we talk about service names, here's the most important idea. So AWS offers different storage services because data is accessed in different ways. Some data is stored in files, some data is attached directly to servers, and some data needs to be shared between multiple systems. Every AWS storage service exists to support one of these patterns. Storage simply means saving data so it can be accessed later. This data could be images and videos, application files, backups, logs, and datasets for analytics or machine learning. In AWS, you don't buy disks or hardware. You rent storage, scale it up or down, and pay for what you use. The most widely used storage service in AWS is Amazon S3, which stands for Simple Storage Service. Amazon S3 stores data as objects, which are essentially files stored in buckets. These files can be accessed over the internet or by other AWS services. S3 is not attached to a server. Instead, applications request data from S3 when they need it. A simple way to remember this is that Amazon S3 is used to store files and large datasets at scale. So Amazon S3 is commonly used for storing files and media, backups and archives, and even data lakes for analytics and AI. For the exam, remember that S3 is object storage, highly durable and massively scalable. The next storage service is Amazon EBS, which stands for Elastic Block Store. EBS is storage that is attached to an EC2 instance, like a hard drive attached to a computer. When an EC2 instance is running, it can read from and write to EBS. If the instance stops, the data on the EBS volume remains. A simple way to remember this is that Amazon EBS is used for storage for one EC2 server. Amazon EBS is used when applications need fast, low latency access to data, storage is closely tied to a single EC2 instance, or databases or operating systems need persistent storage. For the exam, remember that EBS is block storage and works with EC2. And the third main storage service is Amazon EFS, which stands for Elastic File System. And now EFS is a shared file system that multiple EC2 instances can access at the same time. This makes it useful when several servers need access to the same files. A simple way to remember this is that Amazon EFS is used for shared file storage for multiple EC2 instances. Amazon EFS is used when you have multiple servers that need shared access to files, or applications expect a traditional file system, or data needs to be accessed concurrently. For the exam, remember that EFS supports shared access across EC2 instances. Here's a comparison you should memorize. Amazon S3 is used for object storage for files and datasets. Amazon EBS is block storage attached to one EC2 instance. And then Amazon EFS is shared file storage for multiple EC2 instances. If you remember this table in your head, storage questions become much easier. If you work with data or AI, storage decisions matter. Raw data often lives in S3. Processing might happen on EC2 or Lambda. Shared systems may use EFS. AWS storage services are designed to scale automatically, remain durable, and support different access patterns without managing hardware. A common mistake is confusing S3 and EBS. Now remember, S3 is not attached to a server, but EBS is always attached to an EC2 instance. Another common confusion is thinking that EFS is the same as S3. EFS behaves like a traditional file system, while S3 stores objects. Let's recap the key ideas. So storage means saving data. AWS provides different storage services because data is accessed in different ways. Amazon S3 is object storage, Amazon EBS is block storage for EC2, and Amazon EFS is shared file storage. If you can explain these differences clearly, you're in a very strong position for the exam. In the next episode, we'll move on to databases, when files aren't enough and structured data is required, and we'll keep it just as clear and practical. If this has helped, subscribe, and let's keep learning cloud the easy way. See you next time.